but not no more. I'm done making excuses for you and for me. Tonight I'm gonna do what I should have done.
I would never hurt you like that.
Hey Power fans, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Today we're going to be discussing a major leak from Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. Initially, when I was first reading an article from an interview that Patina Miller did, where she basically confirms that Raquel does in fact die, and that she was moving on from the role, I wasn't sure if she was telling us the truth, but now with the recent leak that has been going around online, it looks like she was actually being honest with us about the fate of her character. And I feel like with the time between the end of Season 4 and the beginning of Season 5 being so far apart from each other, I feel like 50 just wanted to give the fans closure on what happens in that particular scene, now that Patina did the interview. And he decided to leak it because according to him, whenever there's a leak, the ratings go up. But here's a look at the opening scene of Raising Kanan Season 5 that has been leaked.
That's why I gotta do this right now. So you can't take nobody else away from me.
Now, based on what we see in this leak, it does look like Raquel takes a shot to the chest. She's in serious pain and she falls to the floor in her kitchen. It looks like Kanan tries to check on her but hesitates and runs away. We can see that Kanan runs into his car and that there is a blood stain on his face from the gunshot that he let off. He seems nervous and it looks like he wants to get out of there as soon as possible. Meanwhile, Raquel, she's on the floor, and this is all sad because Raquel, she didn't do anything that Kanan thinks that she did. And for anybody who thought Kanan wouldn't have pulled that trigger, remember, Kanan literally killed his own son. And based on how careless he was when he did it, I don't think that this was the first time he actually did something like that to someone that he loved. Remember what he also told Tariq back in the original Power. He said, "You're not a real killer until you kill someone that you love."
How could you kill someone you love?
Some niggas say you're not a real killer till you do.
Kanan had already dealt with something like this before. There's also another leak from the same episode where it shows her in a hospital bed. I think that this is Uncle Marvin that's right beside her, checking on her to see if she's gonna pull through. But to be honest, I just don't think that she's going to make it, based on the fact that Kanan shot her in the chest, and I don't think that Patina Miller would actually go out of her way to do a whole interview talking about moving on from the role, when she could have simply just told the fans that they're going to have to wait and see what happens. We know that a gunshot went off, and we know that there were only 2 people that were inside of the house. They were the only ones in there. Now, if Kanan is smart enough, he's not just going to be out there running his mouth about what he did. In this shot where we see him and Jukebox looking emotional, this could be the scene where Kanan tells her what happened. And I feel like this is going to be one of the reasons Jukebox eventually decides to leave Southside and goes to DC, because the family she once knew is now destroyed. Remember, she also seemed to be very angry towards Kanan in the original Power for a reason, and I feel like she obviously wanted to get some type of revenge on him. Now, if Marvin finds out what he did, That's going to cause a lot of trouble for Kanan, and I feel like they are ready to foreshadow something potentially happening between Kanan and Marvin back in season 3 with this scene.
I could make phone calls too. Stories I could tell. There's places they could take you.
I don't give a who your daddy is, was, or wasn't. I'll pull out my belt on your ass right here, right now. You don't speak to your mother that way.
Sorry, Morgan.
You just gonna let him talk to you like that?
I feel like it's possible that Kanan will eventually do something to Marvin if Marvin decides to try to do something to him if he finds out that he was the one who pulled the trigger on Raquel. And speaking about Marvin, right, you have to question if certain things played out very violently between Marvin and Kanan, that could have also been the reason why Jukebox wanted to leave Southside behind her and move on to DC. And remember, there seemed to be some tension between Jukebox and Kanan. She seemed to be very angry towards him about something back in the original Power. Go check those episodes out. She seemed to be sort of holding a grudge against Kanan during that last episode, and there had to be a reason why Kanan was so careless when he took her out, when he killed her. And I feel like, just based on the fact alone that he killed her and Jukebox was killed, I feel like if Marvin had still been out there would have still been consequences to Kanan's actions. It's possible that Jukebox, she could have wanted revenge over Kanan killing Marvin. I feel like at a certain point, if Kanan was the one who killed Marvin, she probably understood why he had to do it. And that's something that we may see play out in season 5 of Raising Kanan. But when you look at the situation, I don't see Kanan killing Jukebox like this unless Uncle Marvin is already dead. Think about it. He had to be dead at this point. Otherwise, I feel like he would have tried to do something to Kanan. Think about it. If he was still out there, if he was still alive, I just don't see Jukebox getting killed like this and Uncle Marvin doing nothing about it eventually if he was still out there. So he definitely dies at a certain point in Raising Kanan. Think about it. And all of that is a ripple effect for Marvin most likely getting revenge for Raquel, because they did tease some tension between Marvin and Kanan already before, back in season 3. So I can definitely see this playing out. And this was most likely foreshadowing something in the future. Think about it. Raquel was a great character, but to be honest, it just doesn't make sense for them to have kept her character around for far too long now that Breeze is part of the show. Remember, like I told you guys before, the title of the show is Raising Kanan. Now Raquel Raising Kanan. And if they stay close to the real story of 50 Cent, his mother does end up dying. But obviously in Raising Kanan, it's a different interpretation of those events. Those same events that we also saw play out in Get Rich or Die Trying. It doesn't surprise me that Kanan did this, to be honest. Just based on everything that we've seen him do before in the original Power, especially to his own son, Sean. You know, I used to question why exactly Ghost decided to set him up to go to prison for 10 years. But now, it's starting to make even more sense. And I feel like Kanan was just making a lot of poor decisions that not only affected his life, but also affected Ghost's life, which is something that I'll be diving deeper into in one of my upcoming videos. Stay tuned. You know, a lot of people have criticism towards Kanan, but I just feel like right now, he's still in that development phase of making the right moves. Lately, I do feel like he's been making a lot of choices without really thinking things through. I feel like the only time he may be paying some thought to his actions or to his outlook on Raquel is whenever he has a conversation with someone like Lou. I feel like Kanan and Lou are going to have more conversations like this, especially after he finds out what he did to Raquel. And you guys have to understand that at the same time, we're seeing a Kanan that still has yet a lot to learn. We've just been introduced to Breeze. He taught him a lot. As much as he probably didn't want to admit it back then, Ghost also taught him a lot. So I'm really excited to see what exactly happens with his character in this next spinoff, Power Origins, and everything that we will see him learn. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about this. What do you guys think about this leak? How do you guys think the rest of the Thomas family is going to feel about what Kanan did? Let me know down in the comment section below. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Thank you for watching. Before this video ends, I would really appreciate it if you guys follow me on Instagram. If you need any photography done or any help shooting a music video, just make sure to message me anytime on Instagram. I'll leave the link in the comment section below. My Instagram handle is at AlexFilmsTV. Just make sure to message me there if you want to work with me. Thank you for watching.